man. Dang, 1 minute. I was waiting. I was like, okay, go live, and then you wait for the YouTube studio to be like, connect your streaming software, and it's like, it's already connecting, just go. And then we were waiting, and we're waiting, and I'm like, come on, we're still not late. And then, oh, it's 2:01. Okay, start stream now. I'm like, damn it! Seconds. We almost made it on time. We were just seconds late. Boo. Anyway, how's it going, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. My gosh. What a good job. What a good job we have.
It's a great job.
This is an awesome job. You guys are here before we even start. Love you so much. Like, oh my God, I can't even explain. Today, someone just dropped $100 before we even started today on a PayPal donation. Just awesome. Forsaken Angel 1101, love you, man. Thank you so much for helping us live our dream, especially right now. It's really, really, we're really, really appreciative of you and all the people who support us. We love you very much. Let's start with that. We love you. It's a really good day. It's a fantastic day so far. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I hope your projects are making good progress. I'm here to answer questions. If you have any questions about the RPG Maker engine or anything in general, I feel fantastic today. Vino with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Vino. How you doing, man? Today is a joyous day. That is all I'll say. Let's see who's Sir Legna's here. Early Bird, thank you for tuning in, Sir Legna. Vaslin's here. Hello, Vaslin. How are you doing? If Sir Legna's, no, I'm not addicted to this stream any. DVD is here. How you doing, DV?
Don't feel bad, Sir Legna. I'm addicted to it too.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of addicted to our live stream process. Not gonna lie, it's pretty fun. Poco Latte, how are you? How's it going? It's good to see you, Red Mage. Hello, peoples. Of course, Vino's here. Nicola Ongaro. Hi. Hello. Yes. Baby's going nappy time. Get big zippy now. Our baby's gonna go sleepy. Take a nappy right now. Yeah. That's good. Oh, I got some coffee ready too. Yes. You all get paid to be addicted to your job, though. I mean, isn't that the definition, though? If it becomes your job, it's like you get paid to do your job most of the time anyway. Some people don't get paid to do their job, and they do a good job anyway. There's a lot of unsung heroes out there, and shout out to them. Yeah. Okay, so let me just play the game. Let's see where we're at. I think I gotta start the server for it because I had it not running. Last night we finished the Netflix series called Altered Carbon. I'll wait for T to get back to talk about it. I'm sure she has some stuff to say about it too. But we kind of got addicted to this show called Altered Carbon. There's only 2 seasons and we already finished it. We just finished it last night. So I was after the stream, I made chicken and rice. It was fantastic, delicious. And then I started looking at the code again, and Sir Ligna and I were talking, and we were talking about adding a unique identifier to when we add the sprites to the screen, and that might help us figure out why it's still like we're fighting over the same event, essentially. I'll go into the code in a minute. Just let me make a new account here and show you where it's at still. Sam Shimmer's made a microphone. Wrath of Wood, how are you doing today? It's good to see you.
All right, I'm back.
So we got this working thanks to quite a few people. Janine was a big proponent in getting us not completely reliant on the plugin command. I know it was like, my decision to be like, okay, we can't be hijacking functionality of a plugin that was made for a general reason and make it specific to us. And so I was like, hey, this is what I need to do. This is what we need to do. And Janine was around to help us code that. So big shout out to Janine, Sir Legna. And also there was a good troll he said some good stuff and helped us, encouraged us, but also trolled us, Zariab. Where's Zariab? I don't see him here.
Yeah, he's not here yet.
Probably lurking. He's probably waiting for.
Where you at, Zariab?
I think you have to say his name 3 times and then he shows up or something like that. It's like Beetlejuice. No, Zariab. Watch out. He's going to get you now. $2 super chat from Vino. 1 second, honey. Time to add microtransactions. $5 for potions.
Oh gosh, no.
No, never.
Never.
That can't be a thing. My gosh. Maybe skins. Maybe just cosmetic stuff. Sorry, honey. I didn't mean to.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Zeriab. No, this is where it's at, and if T joins, she can show you what happens. In fact, if you could do us the amazing, I made it easy, so you just go to the NAS and run it from the NAS. You don't have to copy paste anything. There's no zip files for you to deal with anymore. I'm making it easy on T.
Listen, I'm doing some very important work over here.
I know, eating a cookie and dipping it in coffee. It's amazing, hard work.
Oatmeal cookies are the best cookies.
You're gonna make everyone hungry. Stop.
All right, getting there.
Sterling, I think you have a shadow. Yeah. So right now, of course, the player still sees his own visual representation of himself on or herself on the map. Other players will see that as well.
Don't walk around.
I'm not. There's still another bug. If I'm walking around doing the update function, when someone's like logging in, it crashes their client. So I have to figure that one out. One thing at a time. Red Mage says, yep, but I have some Chinese food on the way. He was hungry before we started.
Nice.
Zeriab's here. What's up, Zeriab? How you doing?
Hey, Zeriab.
Zeriab shows up to say hi to Vino, but not to us. He's just because
that?
I said Zeriab
What do
too.
we chop liver?
We chop liver.
All right, I'm getting there.
Thank you for being here, Zeriab. Spiker Man, she goes, yeah, I'm gonna grab some food. Be right back.
My well thought out profile name and password.
Yeah, it won't matter what you pick at this point. They can actually see it on the screen. The server is receiving your login request. DVD says, damn, I'm hungry now. The cookie didn't make me. All right, so you can see she shows up and she's got her own, like, we don't actually see her walking around yet, but we see the sprite that trails her, right? Which is a good enough representation for now.
Sure.
The problem is, watch what happens to my trail when I start walking. You see how she's walking back and forth? If I start walking, look, we both fight over that sprite. Now she also sees me walking as T on her screen.
Yep.
She doesn't even see the first sprite that was drawn of my guy. Wow, there's a blizzard outside. Look at that. Wow. Anyway, so this is what's happening. This is kind of where we've been since Friday, but we've tried lots of different systems. The upside to this method we're doing now, though. Oh, I just noticed something. Whoa, I pressed escape and went to the menu on accident, right? Mm-hmm. And then it stopped. It doesn't draw any of the sprites now.
Whoa.
And I don't even see you walking anymore.
I see you stealing my sprite, though.
Oh, yeah? So you still see me, but I don't...
Let me go to the menu.
Yeah, it'll make it go away. See?
Yep, I'm the only one now.
Oh, no.
I'm a lonely island.
We have to figure that out now.
Hi, Legion of Light. How are you?
Legion of Light. Hey, what's up? How are you doing today? Thank you so much. Legion of Light is... I believe they're one and the same, right? Because they showed up... Mm-hmm. Forsaken Angel 1101. That's Legion of Light, right? It's always hard when the same person has multiple personalities.
They become two people.
or usernames, I mean. Thank you so much, Legion of Light. We very much appreciate you. That's equivalent to $134 in super chats because it was a PayPal donation, and we get 99% of that essentially, and we get 65% of the super chats because YouTube likes to take a cut of that, but we still appreciate that. That's a service, and it helps me see the messages, and people are able to do $5 at a time, and it doesn't get buried, and it doesn't disrupt the show. It just adds to it. And so, YouTube does apply some gamification to the whole process, and they got to pay their coders somehow. So I guess that's how it works. Pay for the servers that are running. We definitely love YouTube for providing a platform for us. And, of course, the Charter, shout out to Charter for letting us connect to the internet and have an upload stream and whatnot.
Wow,
So,
the monk is OP.
the monk?
Yeah, she just, punched the crap out of that thing.
Oh, you got into a fight?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Did, 1,500 damage.
Let's do a battle real quick. Pay to view. Oh, wow. What's going on here?
You have no attack.
I've got a bug going on here.
You're not allowed to attack.
Oh, what is this?
Because you're not OP like the monk.
Chemistry? Huh. Oh, I wonder if like a weapon that I'm using... Oh, it's doing a weapon, an attack replace.
Wow. She did like 4,500 damage.
No, my guy is bugged. I wonder if it's because
you're not OP like me.
Because I think it's I need to add something to here to this menu so that I can equip whatever I want at this point. Anyway, that's where I'm gonna close out here. Obviously, we have some bugs. We've made progress, but we have more bugs to try to fix.
Do you guys have anyone that can do custom sprites for MZ? Legion of Light, there are a few people that do custom sprites. If you look in paying work on our server, you could see a couple people that have posted some things. As far as I know, generally the people I know that do it are pretty busy right now, but there might be somebody. Also, you can post that you're looking for somebody to do sprites.
Yeah, I would recommend going to paying work here and typing in looking for someone to make, give as much detail as you possibly can. If you want chibi sprites or you don't want chibi sprites or you have a specific style in mind, you want tall sprites, you have a resolution in mind, whatever information you can give to be specific without revealing too much about your game, you know, like to spoil it or whatnot. But let people know inside this channel, and you might get a message from somebody. There's quite a few people online. There's thousands of members to this Discord. So,
and if you scroll up, you might see somebody advertising services as well.
That's true. This is a place to go if you're looking for work and you want to say, hey, I can do these things, and I'm this is my price range, whatever information you want. This guy said he's going to edit videos for $5. I don't know what he's. Man, unnamed user or username is taken. Yeah, $5 is not a lot to edit a video. So, I guess you could just render a video really quick for $5 if that's all they're going to pay you for it. But yeah, like there's lots of different services that people offer in this field. You can either go here to list what you're offering for the price that you would like, or you can say, I'm looking for this type of work. This is what I want. Maybe this is what I'm paying for it. And 5 by 5 pixels. Yeah, that's funny. Cut out one frame. Technically, that's true, Zariab. If you just cut out one frame, you're like, hey, it's more absorbable now, right? Because it's shorter by one frame. $5, pay me. Man, Suikoden. Every time I see this, I keep thinking that'd be a cool battle system.
Oh my gosh, yes, I want that battle system so bad. It's the best one.
Suikoden battle system?
Yep.
Not bad.
It's
not
my
bad.
favorite battle system of any game I've played, except for maybe Divinity is tied now.
Divinity, the original Sin 2?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's such a good game. That's got to still be my favorite RPG of all time. It was always, that was when someone asked, what's your favorite RPG of all time? What's your favorite game of all time? It's always a debate in like the world of Final Fantasies, right? But ever since we played Divinity Original Sin 2, that one took the cake. Larian Studios became my favorite studio, and they took the title of my most favorite game of all time.
They did a good job with it.
They did a really good job with that game. And, you know, we put in a good number of hours. We went through a couple playthroughs. The fact that they were able to make it multiplayer was a big sell for me, because T and I went through it, the entire game. And because, you know, we were multiplayering it, it kept it interesting. And so that's another part of why I'm working on a multiplayer game. It made something that would be fun normally so much more fun. Like, most things are more fun when you have that's pretty cool, MF Will Black. I like the minecarts thing. When you have multiple people playing the same game at the same time, you know, the people make it more fun.
Chrono Cross?
I don't know why
I couldn't even play Chrono Cross, and I don't know if it's because Chrono Trigger was just like the best game of all time ever.
Chrono Cross is a good game. I liked it.
I
T didn't like it.
Couldn't even get into it. I tried to play it for a few hours and just nah.
Obviously, Chrono Trigger is one of the greatest games ever made. It's not my favorite of all time, but it is really good, and I do love it. But Chrono Cross also very good. I like Chrono Trigger a little bit better than Chrono Cross.
I just don't get why they break it. Like, Chrono Trigger was beautiful. It was great. The battle system was amazing. The layout was great. The sprites were amazing. The story was awesome. And then Chrono Cross is like a whole different game. So it's got the same name, but it's a different game. Everything's different.
Yeah. Well,
if it ain't broke, why try to fix it?
Well, they were just capitalizing on the IP, and they made a very good RPG, but you're comparing it to Chrono Trigger.
Yes, because it's got Chrono's name on it.
Right.
That's why.
It was actually a very, very good RPG. Altogether, Chrono Cross, I really did like it.
Yeah. They're making a new Chrono game? Really?
Really?
That's cool. Hopefully it's good, unlike the last one.
DVD, I don't know why YouTube held your message. I clicked show it, so I don't know why they're trying to censorship you. DVD says, Divinity is so fun. I'll never forget getting all my stuff stolen by a lizard prostitute woman. Oh, probably because you said that. Maybe they think you're targeting somebody with that language. I get it now. They are making a new Chrono game. Really? Oh my gosh. Red Mage says that Divinity Original Sin 2 is great. I've spent a ton of hours in it. Baldur's Gate 3 is shaping up to be real. I don't want to play it yet. I've been following it. I'm really hyped for Baldur's Gate 3. T and I are definitely going to play through it. Yeah. We're going to wait for it to be fully polished and half off. Probably that's what we're going to do, because that's how we buy games, half off.
True story.
Yes. Targeting little lizard. Yep, that's what it was. Anyway, the server's running. We'll close that down. We're going to work on the code. I hope you guys don't mind. This is kind of what we do now a little bit. We look at the text file for a while, essentially. We're looking at the JS, and we're writing code. And if you have any questions about what we're doing, I will be happy to explain it to you the best that I can. Luckily, we have people who are more skilled at this than I am who join the stream, and they tend to help quite a bit. So we make progress, not just because I'm typing stuff and doing stuff, but because we have really good teachers that show up. We have an amazing community. This is such a good community. Good, supportive people who want to see their dreams not be memes, right? So anyway, what we did last time, I actually did a console log. I should show that. I'll show the console log. Let's see here. What does that line do? Which line?
So apparently in 2001 they were gonna make a game called Chrono Break, but it was canceled, and then they used the fundamental story of the first 3 characters to make Final Fantasy Dimensions 2.
I liked Dimensions. It was an iOS game, unfortunately. Is this about my car insurance? Hello?
This is an urgent message for the vehicle.
Oh my god, it's urgent, guys. I have to take it. Oh my god, really? Oh, I accidentally hung up on them. I hope that wasn't an important call.
Wow.
Every day we get that.
Yep.
Sometimes twice a day. Urgent. About my vehicle.
It's very urgent.
Yes.
Why aren't you feeling the urgency?
Oh my gosh. So what's happening is when I spawn a new account, or I enter a map rather, my unique event number gets changed by the server, and then we spawn an event, and the event number will be that unique number. But then we also have a piece of code that runs whenever we walk. It changes a switch. It turns a switch on that toggles the player tracker. So the player's X location, Y location, map, and everything. And a script call is ran, and then the switch is turned off. So you have to move again. So that way the clients aren't sending a signal to the server nonstop. It only sends the emitter to the server's listener when a player is moving. Every 10 frames while you're moving. When Socket.io's server receives that the player has moved, they take that information and then they send it to all the clients. So all the clients will receive that information through the plugin as Socket listeners, and then it will draw and change data. And it's a really cool system. And I've drawn it on, I've showed it off on Photoshop a few times. If anybody wants me to draw it, I'll do it again. But anyway, it's basically all the clients. None of the clients connect to each other. They all connect to a Socket.io server. And the Socket.io server gets the signal from the clients and sends it back to all the clients. So one client can talk to the server, and then that information from that client gets sent to all of the other clients. But also, if there's data involved, the Socket.io server connects to an SQL server, which is a database. It looks like something like this. And then this database stores the data. And I use a software to set up the data tables and manipulate those data tables. So each one of these rows is somebody's like save file. Whenever we go to log into make a new account and stuff, those are the save files, like the username, password, and whatnot. And the whole login system works beautiful. That works fine. If you try to use a name that's already existing, it won't let you. If you type in the wrong password for your account, it won't let you. You can create a username and password right inside the game, and you don't need to like go to a website and verify or anything like that. Although later on, if you make it more official, it would be kind of a wise idea to tie their account to an email in case they lose their account information. You know, like, hey, I forgot my password. Obviously, you can message me on Discord and I can find it for you. But it would be easy if there was some automated system. If you scale this up on a big scale, you would want to just have an automated system send that data back to the registered email address. Right now, it would be like all manual because Sir Legna, don't store passwords in plain text. No? Well, they're stored in blobs. So like if I show the database, right here, and I'm like scrolling through, you won't see their passwords unless I click on this, and then you can see the password, right? So like if I'm just showing up the database, no usernames are exposed, no passwords are exposed. I literally have to go in here and click on another button to show you the password. I mean, of course, I cannot... Legion of Light says, will you have a crafting system in this? I can't remember if you said you were going to do that. Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I want the economy to be based around the players. So any weapon that you're using would be a weapon that was crafted by another person. The enemies will only drop resources. Like, materials you would use to make weapons and armors. You can't go to a NPC smith and buy a sword and buy an armor. You have to buy one from another player through an auction house system that I started creating when we were doing the second version, or the first version of this MZMMO. This is the third version. First, I started with Discord.js, and I tried to use Discord as the server, which was a really interesting, fun approach. Yeah. But it was just not very practical.
We learned a lot that way.
Yeah, we did. We learned a lot. It was fun. But then I tried to use Faye, and that was a quick one-day try it, and then fail. Okay, let's try something else. Researched it, and we found Socket at the same time we found Faye, but Sockets was a lot more bigger and bloated, and we're like, maybe we can use Faye because it's smaller and there's less to it, and it'll be more for what we need. But blah blah blah. Long story short, Faye didn't really do what we needed to do, and so we said, let's just go with the tried and true Socket.io version 3. And ever since I've been using Socket.io, I've been very happy. Touching back on, so yes, Legion of Light, absolutely. Every weapon and armor and thing that you're going to be using, essentially, maybe not every accessory, maybe I'll give some gear from like boss drops and stuff, but I think the majority of the stuff will be crafted by a player. Let's see, going back to what Sir Lenga was asking about, and he's saying, don't store your passwords as text files. Well, unfortunately, since we're using a node, this is a little quirk of the way we're doing it. We're using a JS node box to run the game. And like in here, users and privileges, hold up. You see how we've got the SHA-256 password? By default, all the logins from the server to the SQL are encrypted SHA-256. However, because we're using a Node.js client to run it, the encryption cannot be typed properly. You can literally type the password the same, and you will not be able to log in. In fact, when you store your password, it encrypts it, and then what you have to do is run a freaking script, on your password to set it. So the the socket server can log into the SQL. Vina with a $5 super chat. He says, I recommend using MD5 hash to encrypt their password. You can compare what the user inputs during login to what's stored at account creation. Also in a direct message. Okay. I'll check that direct message. Hold up. But I will also move it off the screen in case it's sensitive information. Real quick. For the $5 here. Thank you so much, Vino. Appreciate that. Oh, no need to recreate it. Yeah, there we go. Let's open the original. This was the thing. I guess it was saved. Somebody, Vino had saved it. This was the thing I drew. My beautiful art has been saved. I unfortunately didn't save it because I didn't feel it was merited saving. But I guess it's good, so I don't have to redraw it. That's basically how it works, what I tried to describe. You've got your MZ clients, and they're speaking with the Socket.io server. And the Socket.io server is taking the data from all the clients and sending it back to all the clients. So this MZ1 client can communicate with MZ client 2 because it sends data to the server, and then the server sends MZ1 client's data to all of the clients. But only what we say to send from like obviously we never send user password or username to of one client to another client, and certain things like that as just a general rule. But also in order to save, because if the client closes and there's no local saving, which there is no local saving, you can't save your game when you're playing an MMO. You just log out and the server handles all that. So because of that, when if the server goes down and the client crashes, all the data is lost. We need to have a different thing. We need to have a database. So when the MZ client interacts with and does something that needs to, like they get a bunch of gold, we need to save that. So it sends that like to the server. Hey, I found this chest, and the server verifies you found that chest. You got that gold. Store it into the SQL, onto like a data table. And then when the client loads, it says, "Hey, I'm loading with this username and password." The Socket.io makes a request inquiry to the SQL, and it's like, "Hey, this username and password. What's the data for it?" And then the server goes, and it spits the data back to the server, and the server goes right back to the client and says, "Okay, here's your data. We found it." And that's basically how it works. Thank you, Vino. Saved me some time there. Wow. Okay, look at those. New and trending. Harem Hunter, Sex Ray Vision. 20% off. Oh my gosh. New and trending. Jeez. Okay, what am I doing? Let's get back to it. Got distracted by Sex Ray Hunter. Like we do. Now, this is a code you want to use if you're doing something like this. You need to alter user, put in the username that you put inside for... this isn't like logging in for your client. Like nobody just playing the game will need to know this. This is if you're going to host some kind of MMO or something like that. You're going to need to do stuff. You're going to need to do this because it will encrypt it. But then when you try to log in through your script, which I'll show you the code for it right here, at the top of the server code, because you have a server JS and then you have the client's plugin JS. So at the top, you'll see that we're trying to connect to the SQL. So right now it's connected to localhost. Obviously, you won't see the server code once it's like hosted because it would reveal too much. But right now it doesn't matter. You can't really connect to this anyway, and the user and password will be changed, and then the host will be changed. But right now it's connecting from a server on my computer to another server on my computer, right? And so that anybody on my local area network can connect and try it before we get it all tested, bug fixed, and at least up and running to a playable alpha. Then we can upload it on Google, and we'll have like an IP that people use to connect to Google servers and whatnot. And we'll do that when that's ready, which, if it ever gets there, hopefully it does. We'll see. But right now, you're creating a connection, and you're using that host, and you're using the username and password. But what happens is, even if you have the username and password properly correct, you have to use insecure auth true to connect to this method, a Node.js application to your MySQL server, because the encryption causes it to not connect at all. It just will not connect. And so the only option that I really have, that I know about that works, is to run this script right here to alter the user's privileges. We've got to flush their privileges. And it doesn't mean like you get rid of their privileges. It just makes it so that we're setting it to the native password again. So we're saying don't require the encrypted version of it. Just let the regular version work. And so the text password will work. So is it less secure? Yeah. But is it the only way that will actually let you connect? Yeah, kind of right now. There is another way to get around it, but you have to change fundamental things. And, I don't think we need to go there yet. We'll see, I don't expect it to be on the scale where that will be a thing. And no matter what you do, even if you do that secure authentication, you will not stop hackers. You will just slow more of them down, So it's not like you're never going to make a foolproof system. You will always have people able to find a flaw in your armor. But the point of this project isn't to make a foolproof MMO that's just the best thing ever. It's to make a cool thing that we can enjoy. And the most important thing is to learn through the process. The very most important thing is to enjoy ourselves while we are learning. So we are having fun and getting better at our craft. You know what I mean? We're learning more code. We're learning how these systems work upon each other, and we're improving ourselves while trying to come to some kind of conclusion. Hopefully, I really want this to happen, obviously, but if it doesn't, it doesn't mean it's a complete failure, because we're learning all the time. $5.01 from Big Daddy Waffles Super Chat. Thank you, Waffles. How are you doing today? Janine and Vaseline, how am I supposed to send you Nitro if you don't have Discord? Hi, Drifty and T. # Vino is noob.
Hey, Waffles.
Thank you so much, Waffles. And how are you doing, man? Thank you. He wants to promote the Vino is noob #. Apparently, giving people Discord Nitro to do it. Savage, man, savage. He's buying opposition to Vino's power. So they're in this little pseudo power war. Vino and Big Daddy Waffles, both really, really cool people who we love very much and are friends of the show, basically. Friends of the channel, friends of ours. Let me catch up. I was doing some stuff. Let me read the chat real quick. Lol, looking on Steam for porn. That's basically what everything evolves to, right? Rule 34. If it exists, there's porn of it. And right now, video games are the biggest, hottest thing since sliced bread, right? They've overtaken the porn industry. They've overtaken the mainstream media. They've overtaken movies a long time ago. Like, video games are the thing right now. And it's not going away. It's only growing. Are you saying you can hide your server code for me, Sir Legna? No, I'm not. I'm not saying that at all. I was saying the opposite, actually. It's impossible to stop people from hacking you. But the only thing that you can hope for is that those hackers kind of just want the challenge, and then when they find the crack in the armor, they contact you, and they're like, hey, guess what I can do to your server? Yeah, if I do this and do that and do this, I can do this. And they're like, oh shit, you can just dupe all those items like that? And they'll be like, yeah, I totally can. And I'm like, thank you for telling me. How can we make it so that you can't do that? And if they're a white hat, they'll be like, well, here's what you would do. You have to make it so that I can't access yada, 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 yada. And then I'm like, okay. And then you work with that hacker. Like, I'm not like against hackers. I just think that, I like white hats a lot more than the others, because they are like, hey, I figured out how to get into your system, but I can tell you how to fix it so that that nobody else can do that. And that's a really cool type of person who does that sort of thing. The problem is when they get that power, they're afraid to just give it up, right? We've seen that time and time again. People go in with good intentions, and then they obtain that power, and then they just can't resist the temptation of just hacking their own resources. And next thing you know, you've got this super, super rich person on the server who controls everything, and we have to do a data wipe, or I have to just find them manually and verify their hacking and then take them out. But the problem is, if they don't tell you how to fix it, you have to rely on another person to help you. And anyway, long story short, I expect even when we launch the MMO to have people ruin the fun of other people and have to do data wipes on the regular. But that'll go with the free. It's going to be free, so like that'll go along with you playing. There's always a risk that all of your data will be wiped because we have one reason or another you make progress on
Although that being said, we would do our absolute best to avoid that ever happening even once.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't assume that that's going to happen because that would be an extreme. That would be an extreme solution.
No, I think that will happen.
Oh, I hope not.
No, it almost certainly will. Database wipes will have to be a thing if you get big enough. But we have a very small community, so I'm thinking the people who can do that might just want to be cool with everybody.
It could be targeted database wipes. If people are hacking, we just wipe their data.
That's true, and that's what I said. I can take them out. But the same thing is they could just come back and try again. Eventually they'll get tired of it, but it'll be a hassle. The problem is if you get big enough, which I don't know if we want it to be that big, because then you attract the wrong people. I like our niche community. I do want to promote growth. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, there's like these little diminishing returns that you're going to get between headache and actual increase in the value you get by having a larger audience base. Maybe Corey is right. Waffles is 90 years old. $2 super chat from Vino. Thank you so much, Vino. MD5 hash passwords will work for you. Hashtag love pancakes.
My programs never get tired trying to access accounts. Sir Lenga, are you like a black hat hacker or something?
Nah.
Do you play one on
avatar,
TV?
His avatar actually has a black hat on.
He's
that
wearing
is
a
not
black
good.
hat.
That confirmed.
Talking about hacking, wearing a black hat. If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it might be a cow.
Spiker-Man's back. What'd you have for lunch, man? What'd you have for lunch? Okay, Sir Legna asked a specific question before I got hella distracted. We were up right here, and I was talking about this one, I think. And he's asking, what does that line of code do? io.2 socket.emit. Now this is a line of code that is we're in socket.io version 3, and we've already defined a connection at the top. So if you look at how to do a connection, you define IO at the top, and you require socket.io HTTP, you require HTTP, and you create a server app. And then now that you connected to the server, or you have the definitions, you're going to use that to connect. And we use certain keywords, like they're called events. Certain events are very specific, like connect or connection or disconnect or disconnection. Those are very specific, and they will do a certain task. So when you do connection, it will acquire that socket connection. So io.on to this specific event of connection. We're making it a synchronous function. That way things will work in order. I don't think I need to do this. I'm not 100% sure I actually need that, but I'm doing it anyway. And then we're going to pass the data of the socket. So when a client connects to the server, it's going to pass its socket, which is its connection.
That's what he
said. Yeah, that's right. And then we're arrow functioning a few things. And what I'm doing is I'm creating a global variable at the top called server session ID, and I'm storing socket ID in there. And then I'm setting a console log so that when a new client connects, the server will tell you that inside your node application menu, shell, whatever. So you can see right here, it says that a client has disconnected, a client has connected from the server. So when they connect, it does this little console log. Once you've created your connection, you can send specific event names as emitters, and then you can also set up listeners. So this is your event name, and you can call your event names whatever you want. Like this is just, I followed a tutorial on how to do chat message. So if I wanted to connect some HTTP, I could totally do that. So even though it's for a game, right, I can still connect HTTP, and I've already set up a little web.html. So if I open up the server right here, and I'm like, this is a message from a web app, the server can receive that data. And right now it's just a message that it's console logging, but you can essentially set up a web app to interface with the MZ client. So you can have the MZ client connected with, and then a side app. Like, okay, if you want to look at browse items that are for sale, we can integrate the web app to browse items that are for sale. Now, I don't necessarily want to do this because I do want to use this application, the HUD Maker Ultra Pro. And I want to use this to do it all in game, because I think it would be kind of cool if you can do it all in game. And I think I can. So I'm going to try. I already started this system with the Discord JS version. And well, it was slow because I can only queue so much, and I can only send 2,000 characters at a time, and I was also dependent on Discord reading it properly. And then every time I sent data, it would change the data type to a different type of string and add stuff, yada yada. Discord JS didn't work, but I did have this set up already to show the auction house. And if you scroll up high enough on the MZMMO coding Discord, you'll see pictures of it. But regardless, if I wanted to offload that onto a web app that ties into this MZMMO, we totally could, because we could send whatever data we want. And the server would pick up that data. Right now it's just a chat message. And why that's actually being sent is we'll look at the code and I'll show you why the server is sending that console. Because what's happening is this is a listener right here. This is a listener, and it's listening for an event called chat message. And inside the web app, which we'll scroll over here to the web HTML, over here we've got some CSS for it and some formatting, and we're creating the elements, and we're requiring jQuery for this to work. So Socket.io and jQuery are put in here, and right here, so the socket.emit. So here's the thing: if the value is, if we hit the submit, which is enter or clicking submit, it's going to run function E, and then E prevent default stops it from reloading. And then if the input has a value, which means if we give it anything, it's going to do a socket.emit. And the emit is going to send a chat message. However, we can code this in to make it say whatever we want. So if you hit a button, it does. You can write another add event listener, and you can add more stuff, right, to send data. So right now it's also listening. So it's got an emitter, and it also has a listener. So that's why when I type in here, it goes to the top, because it's sending this as an emit event. So we're doing socket emit from this web app, and then the server is listening for that event name chat message. Excuse me. $2 super chat from Vaslin Ganchev. Thank you so much, Vaslin. Vaslin Ganchev. Thank you. Appreciate that. At Waffles, thank you. Hashtag Adreno is noob. Oh my gosh. I think we have some Waffles fans over here. Waffles is winning the audience with hashtag Reno is noob. Vaslin typed it wrong, but I know what you meant, Vaslin.
Waffles bought him.
Waffles bought Vaslin's message, but then Vaslin had to super chat it, so Vaslin's also like, well, I kind of just want this side. Oh my gosh. This is hilarious. So Sirlang is saying my program's never get tired of trying to access account. Sirlang is talking about bots, which is something we would definitely have to deal with. Any MMO server is going to have to deal with bots, I'm sure. DDoS as well is another thing that's a big issue, but it's getting less and less so as there's more anti-DDoS features created. I think since we'll be using like a Google Cloud, I won't be hosting it. I'll just put everything, Google, you handle all the security, and Google will do that for me, because they'll have much more highly sophisticated systems in play that I can't afford, but I can rent essentially through Discord, through Google Cloud. VeroClaw asks a question. I'm trying to do a leaderboard for my game. It directs you to a website and shows the scores of everyone. And I will use exactly what you're using. I think it should work. Might bother you in the future with some questions. No problem, VeroClaw. Use Socket.io. It will work. Yep. Just connect it to a Socket server. And, I mean, if you're not worried about people cheating, then you always run the risk of people just going into the console log and changing shit, right? Because that's always a thing that can happen. What I do, since you're thinking about doing it, VeroClaw, 1 second. $2 super chat from Vino. Thank you so much, Vino. Appreciate that, $2. He says, if you like Stream Arena, type hashtag pancakes over waffles. I mean, I feel like these are these chain letters where, like, if you love puppies, then you will share this message.
Here's the thing. Pancakes over waffles means you get both on one plate.
Oh my gosh!
I see the best of both worlds here.
Oh my gosh! I want some waffles and then some pancakes on top of it.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yes. You're a pancake in a waffle suit. I think Waffle's original name was Pancakes or something like that. So that's kind of ironic here. There's some irony going on. Mm-hmm. I guess I know what to discontinue next. Oh my gosh. Anyway, what's happening is T's genius, says Waffles. There we go. Look at this. Wolf Emblem Studios. Hashtag pancakes over waffles because they're also hungry right now.
There you go. There you go.
Pancake wrapped waffles sounds so delicious.
Yeah,
though.
there you go. See, we can get some pancake on waffles action.
Why not? Right.
Yeah.
Pancakes can be a topping. Why not?
Yeah.
Hashtag French toast. Where are we going
Hey,
with
throw
it?
that in too. Why not?
Why not?
The more the merrier.
Just a little maple syrup and a little bit of butter.
It's a
Come on.
bready, carbohydrate, sugar, heart attack party.
I mean, you know, you're definitely going to feel like you're going to die in an hour after eating it because you metabolize that, turns to sugar, then you have an insulin influx, and like your blood sugar goes crazy. At least that happens to me anyway.
Yeah.
If I eat something like pancakes or waffles, in an hour, I will feel like I'm dying unless I have something else solid. Like
Same.
It's got to be something else solid, some kind of meat, cheese,
I
egg,
literally
something.
don't understand how people eat pancakes or waffles or cereal or muffins or donuts or any of that for breakfast, because if I do, I will literally be in an emergency within an hour.
Like, I can do that, but within 45 minutes, I also have to be prepared to, like, eat something else.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to have a muffin for breakfast with coffee, I'm going to feel great for 45 minutes, and then I'm going to start to get shaky unless I'm prepared for that and I have, like, an egg or a bagel with some meat and cheese on it
I
or
generally
something.
can't until, like, after lunch. I'm risking it. Even if I've eaten other things, if I eat sugar before lunch.
Fish sticks, that'll be a good solid. Like, the fish sticks will hold me for a while. That's pretty good.
I would totally eat fish sticks for breakfast. Heck yeah. That sounds good.
Fish sticks for breakfast. So if I type that on the web app, the console will read it because the web app is sending an emitter right here, and it's emitting chat message event to input the value. And then the server listener is listening for that chat message event, and then it knows it's going to receive some data, and we can call that whatever. We can receive banana data or whatever. We're just calling it MSG message. And then when we receive that message, what we're telling it to do is to console log to the server. That's why it's popping up right here and showing it on the server. Fish sticks for breakfast. But then it also does an io.emit. And io.emit says to all connected clients, you will receive this event chat message with this data. So if the other clients are listening for it, it will receive that. So let's make an example of how we can make. You know what's cool is just a couple weeks ago I wouldn't really be able to show this or do this because my brain wasn't
getting
there
the
yet.
sick knowledge.
Yeah, it's just every day. It's like the more you stay working on the same thing, the like more solidified it is in your brain. Mm-hmm. So what I want to do is, it would be a very annoying thing to have to be a final feature. So it won't be a final feature. But what I'm going to do on the server is, or actually on the client side, is I'm going to write a listener for a chat message, and it's going to show a game message of what the HTML client typed. Right, so let's do that. How do we do that? Well, we already know that the server is going to propagate a chat message event, right? So the chat message is already being sent out with the IO emit to all clients, passing in message. So all we would have to do at this point, if we want to receive that over here, is to write some code, write the listener for it, and write what we want to happen when we receive that event. So let's do that. On the client, I'm going to go to the top. See, I'm not too specifically focused on my problems. I also want to teach people. Let's
Instructeth thou.
I feel very blessed today and in general, and I want to give back. People, let's make another listener. So this will be a socket client dot on. Now, why are we using socket on the server and we're using socket client on the client? They could both be called socket, but the reason why I'm calling socket client is so that when I'm coding it, I can remember which is what, because it's quite often it gets confusing when you're coding two JS files at once and like index HTMLs and stuff. So at the top, I just specifically said, let's let this one be called socket client, right? But it's the same thing. It is an IO, which is required above, which is required somewhere. Oh, the reason why it doesn't have to be required on the client, and this is a very important thing if you're doing this, inside of MZ, the actual thing that's running this, we are including it as a plugin. Literally, we are getting socketio.js and we're putting it in our plugin folder and we're saying, know what all this stuff is. And it has to know what all this stuff is. That way, when we reference it, like we are at the top of our Discord, our MZMMO plugin, it used to be called Discord MZ plugin because it was a different thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of confusion, and when I call it Discord, and it's not really connected to Discord right now. But anyway, why does this plugin automatically know what IO is? It's because of that. I already added that in there. So when I say, let's make a constant and say that this is going to be called socket client, and it will be equal to IO connecting to the server host. And we define server host above it. And right now, this is just my local IP. Don't try to connect to this. It'll just try to connect to one of the devices on your local area network. 192.168 is not my public IP. This is a local area network IP. In fact, your local area network IP will probably look something just like that. 192.168.1 dot something, right? Unless you're using some other static, or I don't know. But anyway, underneath you see server host map 6 and 7. These are called namespaces. We're going to talk about namespaces in a little bit. But we're doing the same thing. We're creating a new connection to those specific namespaces. So they're like, imagine if you had a website and you had a chat system on your website, but then you had like a sports section and like a games section. And you wouldn't want everyone who's talking about games to interfere on the sports chat, and you wouldn't want everyone who's talking about the sports chat to interfere on the games chat if they're two different things. So namespaces are a way to separate your traffic and what is sent and received. It's like in this game, how we kind of hijacked that idea because it was designed for web apps and stuff. This wasn't designed for this, but we're making it work because it can do this just fine. So we're hijacking namespaces to say each map of the game is its own namespace. It's its own different chat room, essentially. So the main connection is server host, which would just be your, that IP. But then the namespace will be that IP / a directory. And this directory doesn't actually exist anywhere except on its definition. And it's like an identifier on the server and the client, so they both know where to connect to. But anyway, so we're using socket client, and we're going to create a listener, right? So after we've made our connection, this is overriding functions, yada, yada. We've made our connection, and now we're going to create a listener. So we're going to say socket.on, or socket client, because remember we already talked about that. But now we have to put in the specific exact spelling of the name of the event. Veroclaunt, 1 second, he says, on your code, I see you're using game actors to store name and password. Are you like burrowing the actors to store data? Yeah, I'm essentially hijacking the game actors to store the username and password on the client. So even if that way, it's based on it's based on each client individually, so that everyone's actor 9 and everyone's actor 10 will be different, and nobody will know, even if they looked at the server, what the other person's username is. Now, there's ways to find it. Obviously, it's not unhackable. It's not even close. It's so hackable. However, it's just that's a layer of protection. We're keeping their username and password on their computer. And so I'm using game actors are a great way to hijack the system and have a big array of data to store. Because if you go into a console log and where's it at? As soon as I find it, you go into the console log and you go to database game actors. It's a huge array. You have a huge array in here. So you can see right now it's got data on 11 things of data. So it's got 3 actors, right? It's storing the first actor, but look at all the data that just one actor has. Level, HP, MP, TP, max HP, max MP, stats, yada, 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 special parameters, a cache of data, certain types, data types, state displays, state data, current HP, dot underscore is current data that's stored. So all these are underscores, but then you got experience and skills. You see, this is one actor, and it's got all of these things. And of course, skill points, you can have more here. And if you have plugins, it adds more data to those objects. And so by hijacking a game actor to store data, you have a lot of places to put data. I actually picked this up from Vino. Vino was doing this to like find more game variables. He was running out of variables and stuff. So he's like, at some point, I just needed to hijack game actors for a place to put data. And as long as he had a key and he remembered what what section of the actor he stored that data, he's got a massive list of variables that he can just reference. So yeah, shout out to Vino for that. It was a good question. Becoming big brain, big brain. That only if I have the device on my network. I don't want to ignore chat. I got to keep looking. Cool. Hey Janine, how are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Janine, big help, big help on figuring out a lot of this stuff. Anyway, what was I doing? I got distracted talking about responding to chat here, but we were making a game event. And it's specifically going to listen now. So now this is the client saying, I'm waiting until I hear a certain sound. And when it hears that certain sound, it's going to go, oh, that's the sound that I'm supposed, and when I hear that sound, I'm supposed to do this thing. And so we have to define what that sound is. This sound is going to sound like chat message. So if it hears the chat message sound, it's going to do a thing. But it's also going to be receiving data. So when it hears the chat message sound, it knows that it's going to get some data. So we're going to pass, because we do this on the emit. So we're saying, this is the sound, this is the name of the event, and we're going to give you this data. So it's going to send data, but we need to receive that data. So what we're going to do is make an arrow function, but we're going to, we don't have to call it MSG, because at this point, all of the listener knows is it's some kind of data. So we can call it message, or we can call it data, or whatever we want, right? So I'll just do MSG just so that we know it's the same data, but it could be called anything we want. As long as we reference inside this function, we reference that specifically to what we called it. And what we're going to do is an ES6 arrow function. And I like that because it just looks cooler, in my opinion. I don't know, it's shorter, it's faster. Did I do this wrong? I did this wrong. Why am I doing that? Oh, I need a comma. So we're going to say, we're going to hear this event. And then when we hear this event, we're expecting to get some kind of data that we're going to call message or MSG. And then when we get that event and that data, what are we going to do with it? Well, I guess right now we'll just do like a game message just to show that it works, or see if it will work. Game message dot add, and we're going to just inside the game. Now that we're back on the client, we can use all of the game objects and all of the built-in functions that the engine has. But if we try to do like a $game message.add over here on the server side, the server would crash and it would be like, wait, that's Cyber Baron. That's a different Discord thing. This one is it. The server would be like, yo, what is game message? I don't know what game message is. I don't know what game actors are. It would completely crash and not know what that is, because this is not running all of the plugins that are inside this client. So this client knows what all of this stuff is, because we put it at the bottom. So all of this stuff has to load first. All of this loads, all of this loads, all of this loads, and then all of that stuff is stored in the client that's running. It's actually called a Chromium node client. And so this Chromium node client, which is running your game, has like some temporary memory that's storing all the data, which you can access inside the console log. That's why we were able to look at the game actors object and see what's inside of it. So if I do game message.add and type in something, I can say like, this is a message. And as long as I don't do something wrong, when I go back into the client, boom, it shows the message, right? This is a message. So we're essentially going to do that, but using socket.io to make that happen. So let's make that happen with the HTML sending to the server. The server hears it, emits it to itself, and it also sends it to all the other clients communicating, and then we'll make it do a game message. So we would have to restart to make that work, but first let's finish it over here. This is the server, this is the client. This is a message from the HTTP client. And then what we can do, this is a little bit of ES6, whenever you use, instead of like using quotes or double quotes, which you can totally do in a message, in ES6, right behind the one, you have this little tack, this little back tack. I don't know what it's called. I call it a tack, but it looks very similar, and it's easily misconstrued, or it's easily misinterpreted, but it's different from these. So this little backtack is telling this section of text to run at ES6, and when you type anything in here, it will translate it literally. But if you want to include a variable, you have to use a $sign and these two curly brackets. And then if you type something in here, it will crash if it doesn't know what this is. It'll say EIO is not defined. All right. So you would have to be like message. And now it'll know what message is. So what we're going to do is go back into here, in between the two tags. As you see, we started this. So it's going to literally translate to say this is a message from the HTTP client space. And inside there, we're going to put the message. Now, I did it twice, but it's going to just look like that. And then we don't really need a period unless we want to. But that should work, right? And we'll also console log. Console.log. This is going to make it so that on this little thing, it pops out a message as well. And the console log can do the same thing. This message was received from the HTTP client. And then we'll do the little ES6 version of passing that data in there. All right, we save that as a listener, and it's going to listen for chat message, run that function when it receives it. We do need to restart the client for that to take effect. Did we change the server data? If we change the server data, in order for it to work, we have to close down the server and restart it. We didn't, but to do that, if you're doing this in a PowerShell thing, you'll just press Control-C, and it terminates that process. If you press up and enter, it'll run the last thing you ran. If you didn't know where you're at, you can use CD, like change directory, to move through your folders, and you're going to run basically a JS file that you're going to set up. It's pretty simple. You just have to get all of your NPM packages, your node package manager packages installed properly, so that when it tries to run socket.io, it has those node modules and whatnot. But anyway, we have restarted the server. It disconnected us, and I've got some kind of listener for that. But it should reconnect us. But regardless, we'd have to restart the client because we changed the client's JS, and apparently we've done something wrong. So let me see what I did wrong. On the client side, game-message.add. Is it game messages? Hold on, I did something wrong. Game-message.add, this is the message. That worked, but over here, oh, I know what's happening. So it's giving me an error right here on the front because game message hasn't been created yet. It's an object that doesn't exist yet. Now this is a feature. Here I'm going to show you a trick on how to get around this. This was shown to me by Drag, but it's like a really old technique that many people knows. It's a common technique, but shout out to Drag for like bringing it to my attention to say, hey, you're probably going to use this a lot. Whenever you get this problem, right, you're like, I need it to work, but not right now. It's going to work. It's going to be defined at some point, but it's currently not defined. So how do I make it not check for it unless it's already defined? All we have to do is set a condition. So what we can do is say when we receive this message, if we got this message, this event happened, we can say if $game message exists, right? And then what we're going to do is put all of this, we will encapsulate the entire thing with that and make it spaced properly so it looks right. So at this point, if this doesn't exist, it will return undefined or false, and it should skip past it. Now we can also do this, which means it will return true or false. So let's do that and see if it works like that. The double exclamation mark will take an undefined value and make it return as a false value. So if this is true, it will do this. But right now it's saying if this is false. So maybe we do this. If this is, wait, hold on. I got to figure out my logic. If there is no game message, do this? No. If there is a game message, do this. But this will say, if there is no game message or game message is undefined, don't give me undefined, tell me false. And this will also say, I think, if it is true, then if it does exist, then set this a Boolean value to be true. So now we've turned just a random object into a true or false statement. I believe that's how it works. Any coders in here, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a combination of things. So Drag showed me how to run a check on it to see if it exists, and then if it does exist, then do it. And then when it does exist, it'll do it, and when it doesn't exist, it won't crash you. But then I was looking through the code, the RPG Maker MZ core files, and quite often I find double exclamation mark. In fact, if I control F, I can look through. You can see right here, like there's a bunch of them, 8 of them here. So it's got this little return exclamation exclamation, and a lot of you probably know the exclamation means not, right? So return exclamation point something would say return not this, or if you have 2 of them, return not this. But it was confusing to me at first, like why would they use 2 exclamation marks? And Arrow from the Vijustella server, Discord server, was kind enough to inform me on why this happens. And what's actually happening is when you use the double exclamation mark, it takes an undefined value and forces it to return a false value. So it can convert undefined into a Boolean type of situation. And so we're going to try to hijack this idea inside here to say if game message is false, then do nothing. But if this returns as true, meaning it found an object, show the message and the console log. So let's go ahead and restart the client and see if that fixed it or not. I don't know. We'll find out. Hey, it didn't show the error. So it must have, but it also didn't show the text, right? So what happened was it turned an undefined value into a false value, and then it skipped past the conditional on the game message. So let's connect and let's make a new account over here. Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to delete the database because there's nobody in it but me and T anyway right now, and our clients don't really, our characters haven't like put in any work, so deleting them is not a big deal at this point. It's so early, there's no point in worrying about the data that's there.
How dare you delete me?
You will be deleted. So now we can run another test, right? We can see if we send a message, will it show a game message in the game? Does this work? Oh my gosh. And you can see this is a message from the HTTP client. Does this work? And it also pinged off the server as a console log. And if we look at the console log on the client side, we told it to go here as well. This message was received from the HTTP client. Does this work? And it does, right? So we can say, hooray. And actually what will happen is it should queue, because this is an MZ thing, it should actually queue the message. So if I press a button, even though this was started before I sent the second message, oh no, it didn't do it. So I guess it won't queue. Hooray. But if it's not already in a message, it will pop up. I thought it would queue though. I think sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why it does like that. I guess there's certain things that would depend on when it would work or not. I know at one point when you connect and disconnect, and we were messing around when we first got Socket running, or no, it was Discord.js. So Discord.js does queue it up. So if I did this with Discord.js and I hit enter, it would show hooray, and then I hit enter again, hooray, and then I hit it's another thing, fief. Like it would show all of that as a big queue. So that's different in Socket. That's interesting to know. We're always learning. We're always learning here. Let me read some more chat. Zariab says, I bet that T responds if deleted.
I could join the game now and respond.
Yeah, you could.
I could.
But you wouldn't receive the message on your screen because we didn't change your JS file.
No.
But I can copy paste that if, you know.
That'd be cool.
Okay, so let me show you how I would do version control. Right now we have a NAS, which stands for Network Attached Storage. And when I back up the project, I basically just copy the entire folder to the Network Attached Storage. And that way, when I need T to log on and play it, we are using the same version with the same data and everything. So what I'll do is go to where that's at, and I have a shortcut because of the software we're using. And all I really need to do is change a file rather. So I'm going to go here to where I've got the MZ backup. The most recent one is the one from yesterday. So I didn't change anything in the game. All I changed was one file. I updated the client-side JS file. So if I go into my game open folder, which I already have here, plugins, MZMMO JS plugins, I can copy the text, the JS file that we were just changing, paste it to overwrite the one that's there. And now if T double clicks and joins the server, we'll be able to see her interact through console logs. Like if she tries to log in or connect, you'll see that when she tries to connect, the server will ping pong. Like it'll send a ping to the server, and then on the console log of the client, it'll say pong, and it'll also establish a connection, and we're console logging that unique 20-character number. I don't think it's a hash, it's just a number, a unique identifier. So she's launching it right now.
Was yesterday's overwritten?
Yeah, the JS file. But everything else is the same because I haven't changed the game or the server. And if I change the server, I don't have to update anything on yours because you're just running the client. Mm-hmm. So you can see a client has connected to the Socket.io server. And
sent you a message.
Wow, yeah, this is a successful thing. It sent me a message. Apparently, I already have a chat listener.
It did crash on me.
Oh, right. I changed.
Cannot read property set position of.
I moved. I clicked and moved.
You're not allowed
That is
to
a
move.
different. Oh man, that is a different bug that we're working with. When I move, it's sending a signal to all of the clients in that. Even though we're using a namespace for some reason. So I can't. I'm not going to click because I don't want to move and crash T again. This is a bug we've been working with. The big problem I want to do is get multiple characters drawn on the same screen, and if we're able to do that, then we'll try to transfer event, and when we transfer event, if we can have them not crash on transfer, I think that will also fix. Whenever we fix the bug for transfer crashing, it will probably fix the bug with moving around on one map, crashing other events that are logging in, because that would be unplayable.
I'm here.
So T is there. You can see her walking around. Now I can walk around. The problem is, well, I'm going to try to fix this before we end the stream, hopefully. My guy basically ditched my event, right? My event stopped following me. And now T's follower is following me. This is not intended behavior. But you can see T moving around. She's moving around, and we don't see her actual character moving around. We see the sprite that follows her, but that is updating on all the clients. So we would, to the best of our ability, one step at a time, continually improving. Right now, it does kind of have multiplayer functionality. There are 2 players on this map. The game isn't rendering them quite properly, but it is rendering them. My event stopped following me, and if I move, I take T's event that follows me.
Ew, give me back.
Give me back. Corey Davis is here. $5 super chat from Corey Davis. How you doing, man? It's good to see you. He says, I'm here about to get me some food. What did I miss? The battle over pancake encased waffles. Hashtag Vino is a noob from waffles. Hashtag waffles are better from Vino. Or hashtag love waffles. That little bit of super chat war going on. But it seems to have settled down a little bit. Janine showed up to give some moral support so far. We've gone over some basic functionality of Socket. We're talking about the project. We made a listener for a chat message. So now let's see if it works for T here. I'm going to send a message to all the clients. This is from HTTP client to MZ clients. Well, it actually goes to all the clients, right? It goes to itself because it sent
Except
it here.
for there's no word wrap, so it says this is a message from the HTTP client.
Oh.
This is from HTTP.
Oh my gosh! All right, hold on. Let me add a word wrap. How do we do that? Well, we can just change what we are sending, right? So on the client or on the JS, T could open it up and look at it too on hers if she wanted to copy the same way. Inside this message, a $5 super chat from Corey Davis. That was what's inside this message. Thank you so much for the $5, Corey. The $10 now. Appreciate it, man. I hope you're having a good day. It's kind of like a blizzard out here. How's the weather where you're at? He says, hi, Vasila. All we would have to do is type in word wrap, because it's going to send this literal. It's going to send this literal.
359.
Yeah, line 359 of the DG6 MZMMO client JS inside the plugins folder. So T is going to go to line 359 and just inside the game message.add after the little tack, do the word wrap. Add a word wrap.
Boom. 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 Boom.
Oh, I think I have to pause the music. At least we're not playing the same track over and over. That's what we were doing. Thank you, Vino, for letting us know about that. Here we go. T is gonna bust a fresh rap.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
I don't bust fresh raps.
I don't know if I can do the beat and rap at the same time. Yeah, we're here coding, nice and fresh. We do the stuff right on socket, yes, and socket IO. I can't do it all. All right. But I did record something. I'll play it for you guys while we have the music off.
Thank you guys for coming to the live stream. Please like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Love you very much. Thumbs up, yeah. Join us on Discord. Thank you guys for coming to the live stream. Please like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Love you very much. Thumbs up, yeah. Join us on Discord. Thank you guys for coming to the live stream. Please like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you guys for coming to the live stream. Please like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Love you very much. Thumbs up, yeah. Join us on Discord. Thank you guys for coming to the live stream. Please like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Love you very much. Thumbs up, yeah. Join us on Discord. Thank you guys for coming to
Yeah, all right. Back to the music. We have fun. At least I do. Hopefully you guys do too. So the word wrap, all you gotta do is make sure you save that, and we gotta restart.
Okay.
We should be a good old F5 should work. I wonder what'll happen if we're both like logging in at the same time. New account, bada 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 boom. Oh no, wait, I think 1 2 3 5 6 already exists, so it's gonna say it won't let me. Yeah, I already used that account, so it won't let me. We have to be 1 2 3 4 A, and then password 23. Let me bring my server up so it can also show that data. I wonder if I move on this map, will it crash you? I'm gonna move on this map, okay?
Okay.
We're both on this map, and we don't crash each other.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. But then if you transfer when we're on this, it crashes. So yeah, every time. Oh, this is good. So when you're moving, maybe we can fix this bug real quick. So you're moving around. Check it out. And as you're moving, the update function is causing the crash on this side. So it cannot read property set position of undefined, right? And that's on our update. Now what's happening? Look at all the errors. As you move, look at my errors go up. 200, 210, 220, there's 230 errors. Okay, you can stop moving. Okay. You can stop moving. Thank you, T. You're doing awesome. I love you, honey. Okay. Maybe we try to fix this, right? Maybe we just say if that doesn't exist, don't do it, right? So maybe we can stop the players from crashing real quick with that same function that we did to fix the game message. This is a crash loop. So that's on the update function. Now, when is update happening? When it receives a message, but when the message is being sent, let's go to the actual client. It's a common event that's running. It's called Player Tracker. And Player Tracker is only running when switch number 2 is on, right? And running it once turns the switch 2 on, or turns switch 2 off. So at the beginning of the game, we run it once, but how does it keep tracking? When it does turn, let's talk about what it does first. It sets the X value, the Y value, and the map ID of the player, and it's emitting a signal from the client to the server, and it's emitting the event called Player Tracker. So on the server, we have a listener, and it's listening for the Player Tracker, and when it hears Player Tracker, it's going to expect this data. So because we're sending this data, we told it to expect this data, the name of the actor 1, the value in variables 5, 6, and 7. So it's listening for those 4 points of data, and it's also console logging. So let's follow the chain of data. it's sending an emit to the server called player tracker. So let's go from this client to the server and see what's happening. We go to the server's code and we go down to the listener that says player tracker. Let's find it. Player tracker. Boom. Player tracker. Here it is. On this connection, it's expecting the character name, the X, the Y, and the map. So 3 variables right there. And then it's checking to see what namespace we're on. If the player's map location is 6, then it's going to emit this update map event passing these 3 points of data to only the people who are on map 6. Else, if they're on map 7, it's going to use the namespace for what's map 7. If we go to the top, we can see we're defining the namespaces differently. So map 6 will be slash map 6 _ drifters _ peakside. So like I said, the namespace, each namespace is a different map. Each map has its own namespace. So if you're fighting in the jungle or the desert, you don't need to know that the player in town moved because it's on a different map. So we're not going to send that data to you because they don't need to know that. $5 super chat from Corey Davis. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate that money, my dude. He says, it's sunny in India and I made an auto-tune marker. You got the auto-tune thing working? For my song without using auto-tune. Wait, you made an auto-tune marker for your songs. What's that mean? Without using auto-tune.
Auto-tune maker.
Auto-tune maker for your songs without using auto-tune. And soon I'll be making dark melodies soon. Oh yeah, dank melodies soon. Raw. Dude, we must have sent Legion of Light snow because he's getting the blizzard. And
no.
It's gone. It's like calmed down here now.
I went to find Legion.
Yep, it's coming after you now, Legion. Prepare for the snow. Anyway, thank you for that $5, Corey. Appreciate that. I do want to hear. Shout out, Corey Makes Music. There's a link to his itch.io page where he's selling his music now. He just started, but he's been using Fruity Loops for a long time, but he kind of took a long break and now he's back. Guess who's back? Corey's back. And so I expect to, in the future, to have a nice collection of songs. There's only a couple songs there last time I checked, but hopefully, over time we can get more stacked up there. Corey, that'd be cool to see all of your music available for. So he makes really good video game music, but like I said, give it some time and you'll see a lot more than just a couple songs right there. So shout out to Corey's itch page. He's selling his music. Links in the description below. Appreciate that $5, Corey. Legion of Light says, I really don't want it though. Can you just take it back, please? Unfortunately, when I was a kid, I thought I could control the weather because I was very silly. But I've come to realize that I'm not like Storm and I cannot control the weather.
Oh, Storm's OP.
I'm sorry, Legion. I thought I had the power at some point, and I felt like I did, but obviously I was delusional, and I don't have that power. So
children are a little delusional.
Skepsis D says a few flurries here in CT. Very cold and windy. Is that Connecticut? Legion says, I don't know if you saw this question, but is there a way to have free roaming enemies in MZ rather than a battle instance? Absolutely. Yeah. You can have your enemies just walking around and you can make them chase the player. There's even plugins to improve that functionality. You do not have to have like random encounters, what you're saying. Yeah, you don't need random encounters. In fact, inside this MMO, I plan to make random encounters toggleable by the player. So here's how it would work. You'd walk through the map, and if you want to fight, if you want to get into battles, then you press a button to toggle encounters on or off. So I will tie it to a button. So you literally just press a button on the keyboard, and it will turn all random encounters off or back on. And that's how it would work. And I'm going to do a lot of stuff like that. Skepsis D, what I'm talking about, you know how in Final Fantasy X, well, 1 second. Corey Davis dropped a $5 super chat. Thank you again for the $5. Appreciate that. Indiana, yeah, and I figured out how to make autotune without using autotune, and I'll be making dark melodies. I don't know if I should be scared or excited or both, Corey, but I know it's going to be cool. So Skepsis Steve will know what I'm talking about. Maybe some other people who played some like Final Fantasy X and X-2 on the remastered. You know, they include like different, like, I guess they're kind of cheats where you can run at double speed if you want, or quadruple speed. You can also turn off random encounters or make it super grindy if you want at the press of a button. As I was playing through Final Fantasy X the other day, I was like, this is a really good feature. Why don't more modern games just include this? ridiculous because it's making the game play through a little bit faster, but it's making it so much more fun for me. And I actually keep playing even if I was starting to get bored. I'm like, well, let me run at faster speed, and it's actually fun again. Let me turn off all the random encounters, and I instead of just being like, I don't want to run through this map because there's too many battles, I can just turn them off for that point. And then I get to the boss, and I'm like, I'm a little bit underpowered, but then the boss is harder because I'm underpowered. I'm like, no, now it's a challenge again. I was like, this is a fantastic feature. Why don't more games include this sort of things? That some people see them as cheats, but maybe if you get the player toggle them on or off and tie them to certain achievements or whatever, like, maybe if you put this God mode on, you can't get the achievement for some other thing. You can balance it out and make it so that Skepsis T says they call them boosters. I'm totally going to do that idea. I plan to make it so the player who's playing can turn off all random encounters whenever they want. So if they just want to walk back to town and they're about to die and they don't want to get attacked again, turn off the random encounters, walk back to town and heal up. Easy. So that's what I plan to do. And absolutely, you can make it so that the enemies are just events walking around, or you can make them random encounters. You can give the player the ability to turn them on and off if you want to, and I can make little systems like that, like no problem. Netcode is hard. We're stuck on this little one. We've been stuck here since Friday essentially, but we're making progress. Every day we're learning new stuff, and as soon as we can get like the core functionality of it being multiplayer, showing everybody on the screen, and we've already got so much done. Like the saving is all done remotely, so you can literally play on one computer, and when you log off or you save, you can go onto another computer, log onto your account from another computer, like at work or at wherever else you're at, and then continue where you left off because all the data is stored on the server. Shout out to Yanfly for showing me how to make that right. I mean, I started doing that. I got the netcode, but then I couldn't actually grab the full objects because I didn't grasp how to do it. And I was getting there, and Yanfly gave me that last little bit of information I needed to put it all together. So I got to shout out Yanfly for that little bit of help he threw at me at the end, because that made it so much better. Now we're storing the entire objects. We're calling from the entire objects. He's like, look, I see what you're doing. You may not want to try to do it like that. Instead, what if you grab the whole object? And I'm like, that is brilliant. I will do it that way. Thank you so much, sir. And that's the way we're doing it now. And it ties together so you can log on one account, play your character on one screen, on one computer, and then, go to work, and then, whatever you're on your lunch break, you can log on from there and play your same account, and you don't have to bring a USB for save file or any of that shit. It's just all done on the server. It's really cool. Anyway, I'm getting very sidetracked and kind of distracted. I forgot what I was doing. What was I doing? Oh, I know.
We did the word rap.
We did the word rap.
We did a little bit of bad rap.
Oh, yeah, we were doing the bad rap?
Yeah.
No. But I know what we were doing. The walking, crashing people is a big problem. So I was going to try to make an exception so that doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. And I think I know how to do that now using the same method that we did with game object. So I was walking people through the listener of the whole process. You walk around, it sends data, the server listens for it, and then it sends it back. So the server is listening for this up here, the intermap, and then it also listens for, what's the other one? This is the client. That's why it doesn't make sense for me. Okay, here it is. They're listening for player tracker, right? And then it emits, because we're on map 7, so we'll just go here to map 7. It's emitting another event back. It hears player tracker, and it goes, okay, I got you, boo. Here's the data back. And it just ping pongs it right back to you. To everyone who's in that map, they're going to get this data. Character name, X location, Y location. Sending update map back to the client. The client's listening for update map. It hears update_map on map 7 socket. It knows it's going to receive this data, so it sets it up an arrow function for that. And then it's going to run gamemap.event. And then this is why it's crashing, isn't it? Let's look at our crash right here. It's saying cannot read property, set position of undefined. So when a player moves, it's trying to update this thing, but it's not able to, because gamemap.event, my unique number, doesn't exist at that point. So let's do the same thing. We'll do if ! What am I doing this? No, that's not right. If ! $gamemap.event, my unique event number just like that. Boom. And we're going to encapsulate that command, the gamemap command, with a condition. Cancel. I don't know what I did. Sorry. Save. So what we're going to do is say, if this exists, it will return true. If it does not exist, instead of returning undefined, it will return false. And if it returns false, do not do this thing. T, I think that's all it was. We had to use the double exclamation mark and check for that specific thing. So if I save, in fact, you can go and edit this as well.
Okay.
This will be on line number 4.
Hold up. Let me get there.
Inside the MZMMO client JS. This will be on line 485.
Why don't you copy paste me that?
I can do that for you, my love. Let me copy this, and
Oh, I think I already have it open.
I can just show you. You can look right here. 485.
Can you copy and paste me that on Discord? Just the whole thing? I'll just replace the whole thing.
You got it. You got it. Do.
And that's...
Let me get that set up for you. I'll put it in the MZMMO chat. How about that?
Okay.
Here we go. And I'll put it in the code box. If you guys are using, let me bring this over here. Oh, that's not the right button. Here we go. If you guys are using Discord, if you're not, you should be. But come join us. Links in the description below. But you can use these 3 little tacks, and if you do that, whatever you type inside of them will be drawn on to Discord like this. It'll be drawn in a code box. That way, your code doesn't get messed up. Because if you do like this strikeout, it'll mess it up. But what if you didn't want these little squiggles to disappear? See, it'll make them disappear. The same thing for like underscoring something, it'll like italic it, and if you do like italic, it does that as well. Or if you do double, bold, and if you do 3, I think it's a bold italic, right? And so if you don't want those little symbols to disappear, you have to put them inside of these little codes. So you can have like, not this time, boom, boom, boom. And you see, it won't get rid of the little asterisks because it's in a code box. So when you're copy pasting code into Discord, you want to use a little code tags. Code goes here. I'm buying time for T to type this stuff out. A little pseudo education in between.
I'm ready.
Okay, cool. T's got that up and going. Let me restart the client. Make sure you save. While I make sure I save.
I love it when I'm doing plugins and I don't save my plugin. I'm like, why isn't anything changing?
I swear I just fixed that.
That should do something.
You didn't Control S to save. So now I'm gonna stay on this screen, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that account exists, but it might. So I'm going to let you log in. And this is what was happening before. One person would be logging in, but because another person would be running the update function, it would be crashing the other people who were trying to log in. Like, definitely not supposed to work that way.
You can't use the keyboard on here.
What? You have to press escape. You hit enter, or you entered something. Yeah, you can use the keyboard. But if you say enter and you
can see the keyboard, you can't use it.
If you see the text, it won't. Okay, cannot read property X of undefined.
Hey, I didn't crash though.
No, but it crashed me. This is what it was doing. Okay, so that's not the only thing. Where is it? It's crashing somewhere else though. Now it is crashing. Oh, I hate it when it doesn't tell me. Oh, okay, here it is. Sockets 449 of the client. I'm crashing at 449. We did fix that bug. That was the thing we'd have to do. So congratulations, we did it. 449.
Congratulations to you.
Is another thing. Over here. Okay, it's also trying to create a sprite when it doesn't exist. Well, I mean, okay, well, it's got to create it when it doesn't exist. The thing about this is it should only be receiving on socket map 7 namespace. It shouldn't even be hearing socket map 7 on it shouldn't hear the intermap. That's the problem. So now we hit a point where I'm like, you tell me why it doesn't work. We're defining a namespace socket map 7 at the top, so you should only be hearing the update map event if you're on map 7. why? Maybe. Oh, I know what we have to do. We have to define. It must remember what namespace you were last on, or something like that. Maybe we have to define a namespace for the login, like you said the other day. Like you need to make a namespace for the login scene, and that way it stays in login scene as well.
Yeah. I think so. I think it's just like kind of grouping it together because it doesn't have any of its own. You need to give it a. You need to put it in a box.
We need to say that this this map is a different namespace. I don't know. I don't know because it's not like essentially connecting to a new namespace. It's just listening on that namespace. But yeah, maybe something like that. Let me start with that line of thought, and we'll see how it goes. So the login screen is what map? Let's find out what map it is. It is currently map 9. So let's make a new namespace. Let server host map 9 equal HTTP. I can copy this. / map 9 _ login _ screen. So we'll just call it that. We're going to take this / thing here, copy that, because this is the client that we're defining. We need to go over to the server and also make sure that they match the same exact thing. We'll make a constant and say map 9 equals IO dot of that directory path. But even though it's not really a directory, we're still on the same directory. It's just a name for it's like a tag to, like, I guess, simulate a directory. But it's still grayed out. It's not used by anything. Maybe we send data on map 9. We make a listener, and we send data to map 9. So the login is like defaulting us maybe to, because this is now we're in the realm of socket IO coding, and how does it work? Maybe it remembers a default or the last connection you were in. So maybe if we say when you log in, send something to the server on this namespace map 9, and therefore it won't be listening to map 7 at this point. I mean, it actually still does listen to map 7 if you're on map 7. But I think we're on the right line of thought, the right line of thinking. So how am I defining it over here? Skepsis D says, I think I'm going to have to make some booster type effects. Have a new default unlocked and some crazier ones unlocked with achievements. As well as not wanting... Okay, wait, let me read their whole thing. I'm thinking a lot of devs don't include those booster type features either from not knowing about them or not knowing how to make them happen. Quite possibly. Sir Legnus says, oh my gosh, still going? What do you mean? Legion of Light says, so I can make an enemy have the spirits fight on the map without doing a random encounter. Yeah, you can make an event, and then when the event like collides with a player, it can trigger a fight, and then that could be your encounter. You can use the game's built-in random encounters, but you don't have to. Inside a game I made one time called Natural Explorers, didn't finish it like many of the games I did, but whatever. Got pretty far in it. I made my own random encounter system, and it was kind of more complicated than it needed to be. But the idea of it was simple. You make a certain number of steps, and every step it adds to a variable, and when the variable hits a certain value, it initiates a fight. So you can make your own type of encounter system. Totally. You do not have to use the random encounter system at all.
You should show Skepsis how to do a code block with a specific language.
Oh, how do you color it? I'm
Yeah.
still catching up. I'm getting an advertisement to become front-end engineer. Obviously, Sir Legna.
That'd be fun.
I put some C++ in Discord, but it didn't color it.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know if it has a C++ thing.
I bet it does.
You can, when you do the 3 codes, at the first line, you can do like, this is CSS code. And then you can put in your code here, blah, blah, blah. And it'll color that.
That is not CSS code.
Right, it's
Why
not.
don't you just do JavaScript?
Okay, JavaScript.
Copy and paste some JavaScript in there.
And then you can be like, let X equal thing, you know, whatever. You know, it doesn't matter. Gosh darn it. I actually have to do a function or something.
Just
okay.
copy and paste some in there.
No. I'm going to do it. Okay. So you could say JavaScript, and then you can press enter. I think that's the problem. You have to press enter on it, just like that. Okay, there. That'll do it. So then we'll say let. Damn it! Don't do it, Sir Legna. Don't you do it? Just look at mine above. No, don't look at his. No. I'm not gonna. No.
We're showing it on the stream so everybody who's watching can see it.
You know what? Let function. Let function thing.
This is like those game shows where they tell you to come up with as many words as you can that start with D
Let this thing.
or with N.
You know, you get put on the spot. Anyone does this shit. Let function.
This is the price.
Let this thing
Price is
equal
Right.
function, and we pass param. And of course, it's saying this thing is spelled wrong. I know it's spelled wrong. And then we say this thing, and you can call that. Well, that's an endless okay. We have to do a thing, right? X, let X equal number 1, okay? And then run event, do thing, do stuff. I don't know. Do stuff while do Y minus 1. We can do minus equals. Do Y minus 1 while. Shut up, I'm doing stuff. While X equals 0 or equals 1. I guess we could do more too, right? You can do X plus plus. I guess we would have to define Y as well. Let Y equal, damn it. Let Y equal 2. And then you can just do more stuff, and you can be like, if Y equals 0, do another thing. What thing you could do? X plus plus again. I don't know. There's a function. There's a thing. There you go. That's probably going to loop forever. Don't copy paste that. Whatever. If single do me. that's not going to work right. No. That's not a do while loop, Vino, but it's fine.
Ugly and gray. Why doesn't it have colors?
I don't know. What
Put JavaScript in there?
I did. What certain things call for the color?
I don't know.
You know, look, I did JavaScript.
You would think something in there would make it colorful and pretty. Oh, you broke it. It's got to stay green.
Oh, okay.
Kill it.
All right, let me fix
Go
it.
and edit your thing and unkill it.
Damn it.
Yeah, you made it boring.
JavaScript. I was wondering.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. See, now that's how it colors it.
Now it's pretty.
But you don't have to use just JS. And don't put a space. That's where I always mess up. You just do it like that. You can do other things too. You can do Lua. You can do CSS, HTML, JavaScript. There's a bunch of them. Do me while single. Now that is a proper. There you go. Serlinga's got it. That's a proper do while loop.
Yeah, but then once it immediately terminates as soon as it becomes true. It'll only run for 1 frame. That's anticlimactic.
Nope. This is very proper do while loop. Got it?
Nah, I think it falls short. Do while single, but put a wait in there. At least, I mean, I don't know how long you need, but a little bit of a wait.
You only need it to run once sometimes.
One frame.
Right, so like now you only need it to run once sometimes. There you go. Vino got solarized green, solarized yellow, and if he can look at them to see how it is, but we can't look at them. You could go on the internet and type in Discord color codes, and you'll see a bunch of stuff for UTF-8 and whatnot. They actually use a what is it called? Man, I wish I can remember the name of it. It's a very old way of showing text, but it's been used for so long. Slack still does it too. I can't remember the acronym, but I can't believe I forget stuff. Why do I forget stuff, T?
I don't know.
IRC. It's one of these. It's like one of those chat things, right? It's like the same code. Whatever. I don't know. We got off track. Somebody asked a question. That's fine though. Stuff like Final Fantasy X, HD's increased game speed and no encounters. Yeah, that sort of stuff. I don't like the get all items or you're God mode now. I don't want to put those type of things in. Attain all skills instantly. That's sort of instant gratification is so temporary that I feel like those take away from the game. However, there are boosters that I think are fantastic, like turn off random encounters right now because you can always put them back on. Or that's why I like that it goes hand to hand with super encounters, because now every 2 steps is an encounter when you're trying to grind. You don't want to waste time walking around. So that's the thing. Try mobile coding. Yeah, I did a little bit of that with Game Maker Studio. It's not fun. I do like that GML is very much like JS though. So I mean, the problem is like the Android device. I didn't try it for iOS, but for Android, at least when I was coding for it, it didn't support so many things. Like if you tried to run an OGG, it crashes. It just straight up crashes. The game you play tested, it works. Then if you try to play it on the app, it crashes. You can't run certain file formats. You have to use M4A if you want to play any sound effects or anything. And so I was like, time after time, you try to put in your resources, and it doesn't know how to read that video. It doesn't know how to read that graphic file. It doesn't know how to read that sound file. Like it only has so many acceptable formats. You have to learn all the formatting. Oh, also, if you include a space in your file name, it crashes. If you have a special character that would work on a PC, and even on Mac, but then it doesn't work, but it won't work on Android or probably on iOS either. Like, there's so many little weird things that when you try to code for Android or any mobile, you have to learn that it needs very specific things like names of your files, the way that they're stored. You can't have a space in the names of your directories. Lots of things, and so it's a pain in the ass because it'll crash, and not only that, but packaging your APK takes a long time, and it shouldn't take that long. I guess I don't have the right software to do it, but every time I wanted to try a new build to test play my game, it's like 50 minutes to package a 400 megabyte APK. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And if it wasn't for Tom's Pathomizer, Thomas Pham, shout out to Thomas. He's a DB admin right now. I had a problem. I had problems setting up my pathing correctly, even though I've followed the I did it practically the same way and it doesn't work. I'm totally that guy. I went for setting up pathing for MZ or MV. This was for MV. I haven't even tried to make a mobile game with MV because I don't care to, actually. I know it's a big market, but it's a different market and the audience is different as well. And they're like very, very eat it up and move on. Eat it up and move on. And if you charge for anything, they don't want any of that. Like, oh my God, there's ads. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm done. Like, it's so not fun developing for mobile. In my opinion, maybe in the future, I'll want to try it again. But right now, I do want to I want to make this for PC and deploy for PC and Mac. That's kind of PC, Mac, Linux. That's it. That's like my target audience right now. I understand it's smaller, but it's also better people. Sorry. It's better consumers. It's better customers. It's better people. If it's taking 50 minutes, you're doing something wrong. Well, I was probably doing several things wrong, Sir Legna. Android doesn't restrict OS modifications by hardware designers, so each phone company gets control. That's great. Wonderful, right? Another thing. Jacob, how you doing? Drasray, he says, I think it's hilarious that the games I export to Smile to Unity run way better on Android than any of my MV games did on Android. Yeah, MV games on Android just didn't work that great. Even when I did get Legend of Driftwood running, it was kind of slow on an iPhone, like a Shield tablet. It was like, this is a newer tablet. It should run baller, and it didn't. And it crashed constantly because I had to keep changing resources out. I'm like, oh, I forgot one OGG. Time to go back into the game, find that OGG, replace it with an M4A, redeploy it, repackage my APK, and then test it again. Like, the whole process was maddening. I did get sidetracked. I have no idea. No idea where we're going, what we're doing right now. I wanted to do a thing, but I'm having too much fun with the chat.
You guys are just too much fun.
You guys are too much fun, and it's hard to do work, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna also have to do some more reading. I know that I'll do that off camera, but not that I have a camera on, off live stream, off air, because that's not fun to watch. But I need to read and see why my listeners are receiving data that's not being sent. Oh, I think I know what's happening. Okay. Here's what's happening, honey. I think this is what's happening. The client is sending. That's Robinhood. Stocks are doing good today. Man, I'm up today.
Good today.
Yeah, it's looking good. I don't have that much invested, so it's not like I'm making a lot of money, but it's cool to see percentages go up, you know. Anyway, I know what's happening. Oh my God, it makes so much sense. Here, honey, this is what's happening.
What's happening?
Right here on the tracker, we're sending a socket client.emit to the global connection. So it's sending a signal from the main connection. So what we have to do is listen to the namespace and have a listener for each of the different namespaces.
Okay.
Right?
Sounds good.
So instead of sending...
you need a more specific player tracker.
Yeah, the player tracker here, it shouldn't send this data on the main connection. It should say, hey, I'm on map 6, here's my data. Instead of, I'm on this map, or like, here's my data. Instead of
smashing in a screw with a hammer.
It's literally saying, here's my data. It doesn't matter what map it's on. It's not like, even though it's passing in that data, it's not specifying the emit. So, yeah. So, but here's the problem, and the reason why I had to do it. There is no like connection to emit the namespace to the server, because the server is listening to namespace. The server is listening for namespace, but then no. The server is not listening for namespace. It is just broadcasting to namespace. So how do I make the server listen to? No, I don't know. I have to figure this out. Like I said, I need to read more research. A $5 super chat from Corey Davis. Thank you again, Corey Davis. Appreciate that, man. Toronto Gaming Gamer on YouTube, everybody. Sub to Corey. Corey says, Drift, Robin Good dropped 2 stocks I showed you. Drop 2 stocks. Oh, okay. Right now, drop them. Let me see what's going on. Oh yeah, that one already dropped. That one is up. So I know what you're doing there, Corey. I have a small amount in both of those though. It's like I got like $10 in both. You know what I mean? So I find it, because I'm actually keeping track and I'm writing it down for tax reasons. Every time I buy and sell, I have a little document showing like, oh, okay, bought this on this day, blah, 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 this many shares, blah, blah, blah. And it's a pain in the ass to just constantly update that. I don't feel like doing that for what I have on those, because I'm kind of diversified right now. I have like 15. Insider trading! So like, insider trading! I'm getting insider information! What? Oh no! $5 super chat from Corey Davis saying Robinhood dropped both of them, so you can't even buy them anymore?
What?
I still have them, so they're gonna keep paying me dividends. But only like $10 in each. I think 11 in one.
Wonder why they did that.
Why did they do that? Those were cool little
Stocks?
ETFs. Yeah, they're stocks, but they're specifically ETFs. Mm-hmm. Well, Corey said, these are my secret babies, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just keep a secret then. And I bought into them. And they pay me dividends. And I definitely still have the money I put in and a little bit more from divvies. But that's really weird that they dropped those ETFs. Time to buy more. Well, you can't buy more. You can't buy them anymore. That's what he's saying. Thank you for the $5, by the way. I appreciate that.
Well, you could buy them somewhere, just not on Robinhood.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you'd have to go to like another broker. What was the other one? It was like Peanuts or Shell or what was
Acorn.
it? Acorn, yeah.
Peanuts.
I don't know, man. I use Robinhood. I'm a simple man, all right?
You should hear Drifty trying to remember people's names.
You know, Clarissa and David. David.
It's amazing. You know, the real amazing thing to me is that he comes up with a new set of names every time.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that happens.
Karen and Clark. $5 super chat from Corey Davis. Thank you again, Corey Davis. Appreciate that. Don't know why, my G. If you want to get more, got to go to a different platform. Does Acorns have them? I don't know. There's plenty of stocks in the sea. There's plenty of stocks. A lot of them are making money. I'll give you guys what we are looking at, and I think is a good investment right now if you guys are following the stock market. It is ITRM. We bought into ITRM last night, and I'm not going to give you the specific numbers of how much that we've made, but I will go ahead and show you the percentage return we've made overnight. Overnight, we found, I'll go to the Discord. This is where you can go to the Discord, links in the description below. We have a channel for this, stocks channel. People show what they're making, but we're not like trying to flex on people. We're just showing the percentages and like, yeah, you know, you can show what you actually make if you want, but it's just not necessary. Basically, this stock, ITRM, which is Iterum Therapeutics, they put in a petition to get one of their vaccines, I think, like past the FDA or something like that, or I don't know what regulation. First of all, I'm not a licensed broker. This is all speculative information. If you talk about the market, you really need to say like, this is all my opinion, and I have not.
Listen to all my advice. You'll get rich. Pay me money.
No, that is.
Oh, that's not what you say.
That is the opposite of what you're supposed to say.
Okay. I thought we were
the opposite.
All right.
I'm just a guy who has a few tiny stocks.
He's the best stock marketer ever. Do everything he does.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I get it. I don't even like to tell people what stocks I'm buying into.
Vino, also ITRM.
They'll jump on the bandwagon, and
if they lose money, they're like, I lost it all because of you. I'm like, no, don't do that. That's why I'm saying, don't do it because I said it's good. I'm going to show you what I did. I'm not saying it's going to work for you. But anyway, Vino showed me this one.
Oh, yeah, that one's sick.
ITRM right now. Here's the thing to pay attention to. If they get denied, you better sell.
Yeah, because
If they get
they're
denied
looking for approval for something.
Because here's how the stock market really works. It doesn't matter how good or bad the company does. It matters what people think the company's going to do. Mm-hmm. So if people think it's going to fail, you need to get rid of it. If people think it's going to do well, you need to buy it, regardless if it fails or succeeds. So Vino, yeah, thank you for the advice last night or the day before, because we bought into it.
Vino's the stock man. Everybody do what Vino does. And then blame him if you lose all your money.
No, don't do that either.
No, we don't do that either.
He didn't say that.
Oh,
He
okay.
just said, look,
All
this is
right.
what I did, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we bought quite a few shares of that.
Own your own actions. That's what you got to do.
And I don't know. It's predicted that it can go up to $4. I mean, so that if it
At
does,
some point, not anytime
if
soon.
it does,
eventually.
bank, because we
Heck
bought
yeah.
in at $1.36 a share.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're really off topic. We're all over the place. It's 4 o'clock. We need to end this live stream. I love you guys so much. Thank you very much for coming to the live stream. Oh my gosh, we got more super chats here. Thank you, Corey Davis. Another $5 super chat from Corey Davis. He says, no one tells me anything. Corey, you got to go to the channel, man.
Yeah, we
got to
got
go to the Stonks channel.
That's where we do all our
You
stonk
got to
talking.
go to the Stonks channel. You could still get in. You could still
Yeah.
get in. I don't think it's too high right now.
I think it's supposed to go to 2.
I think it. Okay, you know,
Like
I'm not
soon.
saying for sure you will make money. You will make money, but if it does go to 4 and you buy at 174, which is where it's at right now, I mean, you could double your money on here. It could, if like I said though, if they get denied by the FDA, then you got to get rid of it quick, because then people are going to put it back at $1.30. So yeah, right now, ITRM. What other stocks that are doing well that for me personally, Tesla's been doing okay. I bought into Tesla a long time ago, and they basically, it was very kind of lackluster, up, down, up, down, up, down, nothing happening. But then they joined the S&P 500, and then it just kept going up. And then next thing you know, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, is now the new richest man in the world, surpassing the Amazon CEO. What's his name?
Who?
Amazon CEO.
Stonk dude. He's that stonk dude.
No,
you know, the meme
Amazon
guy.
CEO.
Yeah. I don't know.
Come on,
Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. Come on, we gotta know this stuff.
Why do I have to know that?
I do
Some rich
know
guy.
it. Jeff Bezos. He's the second richest.
I buy stuff from his store a lot. I gotta say
Amazon, his store. I like how he has a little shop on the internet.
that. He sells the
biggest-
best bacon in town.
So Tesla, I mean, I don't know if you're going to make a lot of money on them right now. I do predict they're going to go up more. I bought in 732 and it's 850 now per share. So I've made some profit on that, but not a lot. I don't have a lot of shares in anything. I'm diversified. I have a very small portfolio. It's so small. I bought into ABCL as well. And that's made me 5% over the last couple weeks. I think it'll go up more. It should go up more. What other things are doing okay? I'm into a couple of ETFs, SBYD. I get dividends from them. SDIV, I've made $1 on the actual share price, and I get dividends. So SDIV, shout out to KV Kingdom for that one. I do like SDIV. I put more into it. I have a little bit there. TMO. I bought into TMO on a high, and I got no money. I was actually just losing a little bit of money, not a lot, just losing just a little bit. But it was like very disappointing that I had my money tied up in a small loss. And so I'm like, but T is like, just hold on. They're gonna go up. They're gonna go up, and they did. And now I'm making a tiny little profit, but I'm not really happy with
They're gonna do
TMO.
better.
They should do
Too much
better.
information's gonna do great.
TMO, they're definitely going to go up a little bit, but they're not spiking. Netflix had a big jump yesterday. They went up 12% yesterday. I bought in a few days ago, actually, or last week sometime, just because I like Netflix, and I'm like, well, why would they not be doing better? And so I kind of just took a gamble on them, and I bought a little tiny bit of Netflix. I like that Robinhood lets you buy fraction of shares, because I don't buy whole shares, because like one share of Netflix is like $586, and I definitely didn't buy a whole share. I bought a tiny fraction of Netflix. They went up 12%, so I'm up 15% on my investment on Netflix. So Netflix did good. They basically came out yesterday saying, look, hey, we're going to be debt free this year. We don't need any more loans. We got this. And everyone's like, okay, take my money, take my money, take my money. And that's what happened. Twitter's up a little bit. I have a tiny bit in Twitter. CPRX, I've made a little tiny bit on that. Yeah, I have some crypto. I'm in crypto. I'm actually when Bitcoin was 13,000, I told everyone on stream you should probably buy Bitcoin, and then it went to 19,000, and I was like, hell yeah, cash out. That was the dumbest shit I did because it went up to 40,000.
Yeah.
So I was right at that. I knew it was going to go up, but I was wrong in that I thought it was going to go back down when it hit 19.
It did.
It did though.
But then it went back up again.
But then I didn't expect
then
it
it
to
went
go
back down again. Then it went back up again.
It
That's
always
why I don't
does.
like crypto.
Crypto is so hard to follow, man. I eventually bought back into it, but I bought on a really high, and I'm actually a little low. I'm actually down a bit on Bitcoin, just a tiny bit. The same thing with Dogecoin. It did make me money, but I kept buying more of it.
Ethereum's baller though.
I'm getting to that. Litecoin, I've lost a little bit of money, but Ethereum, I've made hella money on Ethereum for percentage-wise. Like I said, small portfolio. I don't have a lot of money in the market, just a tiny bit, just to play the game and have fun. And if I lose what's in my portfolio, I'm not going to be hurting. It's not that big of an amount, you know what I mean? It's a small amount. But percentage-wise, this is Ethereum profit. I've made 62% of my investment on Ethereum. So that one is, I mean, at this point, I don't think it's going to go like extremely higher. It can go up, it can go down. It's probably going to go down first. So I don't say jump on now, but keep an eye on it. And here's the thing about it. I don't trade crypto anymore. I don't sell it. I never sell crypto anymore. I only buy more. So when you feel like it's on a low, you buy it, you hold it. It's called the HODL group. You just hashtag HODL. You just hold all of your crypto because a month from now, especially a year from now, it's guaranteed, almost guaranteed. I'm not guaranteeing you that. Don't hold me accountable. But it's going to be worth a lot more than it is right now. So all I do is buy crypto now. I buy a little bit here, a little bit there, and then I hold it. And so far, I made a profit on it because of this new strategy. I used to, when I first started, I tried to buy it on a high and sell it on a low. But guess what? The machines always win. You cannot trade crypto and not be, cheated by the machines because the price that it is, you have like this little buy-sell margin, and you pay more for the price of it when you go to buy it, and you get less for it when you try to sell it. The bid-ask spread. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of little details. But the good thing about if you did want to do that is it doesn't count as a day trade. So you can buy and sell crypto to your heart's content, but you'll probably lose to the machines because these machines are like algorithmic and they follow these little patterns. And they're going to get a penny here, a penny there, a penny here, a penny there, and eventually you're losing. But yeah, okay, that's it. I didn't expect to talk about stocks at the end of this live stream. Democracy 3 is on sale. That's cool. Let me get this link for people.
Democracy is on sale, guys.
Democracy 3. Actually, I don't need to do it on web. That would be an interesting game to get right now. Come join us on the Discord. This is where all the cool stuff happens. Wait, Democracy 4, is it on sale too?
Did you see the super chat from Corey?
We live in worry.
Oh, no. Shoot, I'm glad I didn't spit it. Oh, shit. $5 super chat from Corey. Thank you so much, Corey. Sorry for the delay there. Love you, man. Thank you so much. I got off on a tangent looking at Robinhood. Appreciate that $5. I do. In 2 weeks, no one can tell which stock you should buy now. It's not legal for you to listen to my advice on it, but if you do, you can make a big cash out.
Insider information.
Insider information. Right, there you go. Machines are playing the picosecond. Yeah. Listen to when Drifty says buy, but not when he says sell. Stock advice stream. Yeah, I was right. You should have bought all your money on Bitcoin when it was 13,000. But when I was like, sell it, it's 19,000. You should have been like, nah, you're dumb fool. It's gonna go to 40K. But nobody. How do you know? Nobody freaking knows.
The previous high was 19, so nobody knew if it would get any higher.
Right. I was like, it's at its peak. It's definitely gonna go down now because it's never gonna go blah 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 blah. And everyone, PayPal's like, we are officially backing Bitcoin, and I'm like, oh my fuck.
The funny thing is there was this website that gave me a Bitcoin back when it was worth like $10. And
you got to find that wallet.
I've never been able to find the damn thing. I could never find it. I'm sorry. It's lost forever.
Oh my God.
But I remember seeing in the top corner your balance, 1 Bitcoin. And I'm like, well, this is stupid.
Like the person who he was a Bitcoin miner and he had like $274 million in Bitcoin value now, but at the time it was like $500 or something. And he's like, oh, I'll just put this hard drive away in case then whatever. And he ended up throwing the hard drive away.
Now it's worth $700 million.
No, it's 270. And he offered the county that had the dump, he offered them $70 million on the contingency if he found his hard drive and restored and sold Bitcoin.
But they can't because of environmental concerns.
No, they can't just excavate a dump like that. Like
that's millions that are going to be lost forever.
Corey, you totally could. $5 super chat from Corey Davis. Thank you, Corey. We appreciate that $5. He says, I guess I could do a stock stream once a week. I would totally listen and watch that. Because Corey's the one who got me on Robinhood. He's the one who got me. He didn't even use Robinhood. He's just like, you pick your platform to be an investor. What do you think you need? With 10 cents, you can be an investor. And I was like, oh my God, why did I think I needed $1,000 to be on the stock market? Like that's so dumb. You don't. You can have like $5 to your name, put that $5 on a stock, and now you're an investor. And if that stock goes up, you make money. If it goes down, you lose money. But you need to put that money, you only need to spend the money that you have to burn. So when you put that money down, imagine it's gone. Just to pretend it's in a black hole and you're never going to need it. You're never going to want it. You're never going to have to use it. Because if you need it, then you shouldn't put it in there in the first place. Put the money that you have on the side. If you have $5, $10, $20, create a Robinhood account. While we're doing it, you can click on this link in the description below to the Discord. And if you do go to the Discord, go to the stocks market channel right here, and you can click on my little promo link. You don't have to do this, but if you do, I'll get a free stock. If you join and you put money in, you'll get a free stock regardless whether you click on this link or not. But if you do click on this link, you'll give me a free stock too. The stock is usually only worth like $5, but I mean that's still $5. It could be worth up to 100 or 200 with some limitations. Will apply to that, but yeah, basically you put in $5-10 and you buy into a stock. And the good thing about Robinhood is you don't have to buy an entire thing. You don't have to buy like a whole share. Like you look at Amazon and it's like $3,000 for one share. Well, I do own some Amazon, but I own like 0.025. I own like nothing. I have like $8 in Amazon. So I'm an Amazon investor, but I have a whopping $8 in Amazon, right? So I have a fraction of a share in Amazon. It hasn't done me well, to be honest. Amazon is not the good stock right now. I've got all these green numbers on the side, and Amazon is one of the red ones. Because I bought in when there was like hella hype. So I've lost 20 cents on my $8 investment on Amazon. So that one's just kind of tied up my money. Another thing to consider is a lot of these stocks give you dividends, and a dividend is they pay you to own their stock. So you own, say they have a 1% dividend, and you've got $100 in their stock. Every year they're going to pay you 1% of your investment. And the payout periods are different. Sometimes it's a month, sometimes it's 3 months, sometimes it's every 6 months. But they'll pay you a percentage of the money that you have in their stock, but it doesn't take away from the money you have. You still have $100 in their stock, but they pay you for having their stock to keep their price up. So it's a win-win for how it works. And so you can look into different ETFs, and that is like an ETF is like a stock that invests in other stocks. So if you don't know which one company to invest in, maybe you invest in an ETF. I recommend SDIV right now. There's some other good ones. But what they do is they typically pay you a dividend, and they also invest in other stocks. So you don't have to worry about an ETF tanking, because an ETF is a company that invests in multiple stocks. So when you put your money in one ETF, you're really investing in like 50 companies or 100 companies. The S&P 500 is an ETF, and it has 500 of the top companies in it. So when one company goes down bankrupt, you don't lose all your money, but your stock price might go down a little bit, right? The value of it will go down a little bit. So what they'll do is stop selling that, and they'll replace it with another company that's still trading, and it'll go up again. And if any of those 500 companies go up, you don't skyrocket, you don't have the big spikes and the big dips, but it's more of a safe medium. It'll go up a little, go down a little bit, go up a little, go down a little bit. But what happens is they pay you a dividend. So every year you get a percentage of that money back, and you'll make a lot more on an ETF dividend payment than you will an interest payment from a bank for sure. But yeah, all right, that's it. We're going to end the live stream. Corey, you should totally do a stock stream once a week. That would be lit, man. I would watch that. But anyway, links in the description below to all the things. You can find more stuff from Corey. He makes music too, and a link to his itch page. Thank you so much for the super chats, Corey. Thank you so much for coming to the live stream, everybody. We love you. We'll let you go now. I was going to put a link to Democracy 3 because it went on sale. No, play the music. Oh, gosh. So afraid of that copywriting stuff. No, I don't want to copyright. No. Only original stuff. All right. We'll do that. Come join us on Discord. Links in the description below. We love you guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Bye-bye.
Bye.